you're using any kind of marketing at all today, you need to be thinking about video marketing. Now, I know video marketing sounds intimidating with all the filming and scripting and editing and all that stuff, but it's because of the fact that video marketing sounds so intimidating that it's such a wide open field for you to access. Add to that video catches more eyeballs than any other content type that's out there today, and without it, you're just throwing away sales. So today, I'm gonna go through the basics of video marketing with you, the basics of filming yourself, and I'm gonna give you some specific advice for content videos, sales videos, and I'm gonna show you how to bring it all together into a cohesive funnel. My name's Trent Kennelly, I'm a marketing strategist, and on this channel, I talk about all the things that you can do to improve your business through marketing, sales, and analytics. So if that sounds good to you and you're excited, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, comment to let me know whether you're using video or not, and if you're not, I wanna know why. Please let me know what's holding you back. I'd love to be able to help, and let's get started. Okay, so let's go through some basics of video marketing. So there are two types of video for marketing purposes, generally speaking. The first is content. Content is focused mainly on social media. That's mostly where you're gonna find it. And what you're trying to do is create engaging video that interests people in your brand and learning more about you and coming and being exposed to your brand over and over. The other type is sales video. So sales video is when you're using video to explain why someone wants to buy from you. It doesn't have to be some sophisticated, huge thing. You just have to talk to people on a very basic level, and that is gonna build that interest and it's gonna get people to want to come back. It's like making a pitch that you can continue to make over and over because it's recorded and people don't have to hear you do it live. So as with everything, the type of video and the way you use it and how you put everything together is highly reliant on your target. You can check out this video for more guidance on your target and how to figure that out. It's also very important to make sure that you niche down as much as possible when you're making video so that you can make sure that you're accessing the right audience. You can check out this video for more information on that. All right, let's get to the basics of filming yourself. So I wanna be very clear here. I'm not talking about film techniques. You're not gonna get that out of me. This is a marketing channel. You can check out this channel or this channel for information on that sort of stuff. I'm gonna stick to the marketing aspects of this. So in all cases, video needs to carry your business's style. Your manner of speaking, the way you dress, how you carry yourself on camera, the way that you film yourself, your background, all of this sort of stuff matters. It's as much about showing them your brand as it is about talking to them about what you're good at, okay? So that means that if you're a lawyer, you need to probably be in a suit and tie on your videos, and you need to have your desk with your certifications behind you. If you're an internet entrepreneur, you can wear, I don't know, like a hat and a palm tree shirt or something like that and have a little bit more casual style of speech. It's really important that you have this very clearly laid out. You can look at the website that you have already and kind of get a feel for how you write it, how it's presented, and you can kind of adapt that style to your videos. It's really important for users to feel like you're having a one-on-one conversation with them, like you are just having a conversation with the person who's watching your video. That means you don't need to be doing things like looking off screen. You need to look straight at the lens so that people feel like you are having that conversation with them. Use individual forms of words. This is the same thing. It's about an individual conversation. Don't use y'all, don't use guys. Y'all is a perfectly legitimate word, by the way. Don't let anybody tell you it isn't. Use you instead, or a form that is individual rather than collective. You don't want people to feel like they're part of a group. You want them to feel like you are speaking to them. Really, you just need to consider how people are feeling, how they feel that you value them at all times, and you need to consider their attention. So try to anticipate in your video whether your audience is getting bored at certain points and whether they're going to leave. Just kind of shut off your critical mind and watch it as if you were a viewer, and you'll be able to tell this pretty quickly. Do what you can to fix it at that point once you've identified it, and it's really not super hard. You'll probably notice in my videos that I have a bunch of zooms all over the place sometimes, like I'm doing right now. Some people hate it, my parents hate it, but some people find it really engaging, and it actually does increase your retention rate quite a bit. So I really highly advise that you do this, because keep in mind, the average attention span is less than 10 seconds nowadays. So it is vital to keep people interested as long as possible. All right, let's talk about that content strategy. So the idea here is that you're mostly on social media, trying to pull people in through organic sales who have never heard of you before. And more specifically, the idea is to overwhelm that audience with value. They need to be so flooded with value by the end that when you finally try to sell to them, they are happy to buy. This effect happens for two specific reasons. The first is reciprocity. So reciprocity is an emotional trigger. You can check out this video for more emotional triggers. And this one is when you give people so much value for completely free that when you finally do ask for a purchase, they feel obligated to return the favor by making that purchase. The second is the behind the veil effect. The idea here is that you have given so much value for free, once again, that what you're hiding behind that paywall must be absolutely mind-blowingly amazing, and they just have to have it. These are both very powerful, so this is why you want a content video strategy. All right, let's break content video into 4 subtypes. So there's long form, short duration, and live. Long form are videos of, let's say, typically 5 minutes or more that are going super in depth on a topic, like I'm doing right now. The goal here is to build loyalty around the topic so that people trust you more inherently and want to work with you more directly. You're most often going to find this on YouTube, though you could find it on IGTV or Dailymotion or Vimeo, but honestly, none of those platforms are nearly as popular as YouTube. You should just go where your audience is, so just be on YouTube. Next is short form videos. So short form videos are those that are less than 5 minutes, but really they're a minute or less. You're often gonna see these used on TikTok or Instagram Reels. You can check out this video for a review of Reels and YouTube Shorts and TikTok and a couple of others to get a breakdown of which one is gonna be the best for you. But really, we just need to understand that short form video today is all about that quick run through, quick flip, 1 minute or less video. The huge benefits to short form video are that you can get information to people very quickly, you can show your knowledge on the fly, and there's high engagement on most platforms that are using this style of video right now because there's huge competition right now and everybody is trying to be the winner of that short form video competition. The huge downside is that the information that you're giving to people is shallow at best. So most of the time you can't cover all the details you need, which could end up being bad for you if you're not doing a good enough job of vetting the information that you're putting out there. So it's really kind of a shame that you can't be a little more detailed, but such is the nature of short form video. So you should use short form video almost like a loss leader in a sense. And what I mean by that is that this type of video is so popular right now that all of these platforms are pushing it super hard. And that means that you have more of a chance of getting exposed to the audience that you're looking for with this type of content than you are able to with more normal or traditional forms of content like image posts or IGTV or whatever. So you want to put the work in here to build overall engagement to drive them to deeper diving stuff like your YouTube or your blog or straight to a sale. And that's what I mean by loss leader, is you're putting the time in here so that you can get them to the deeper stuff, okay? And I just want to put out one more really great thing about short form. You can break up that longer form, deeper diving stuff into smaller short form videos if it makes sense, and that just is going to allow you to speed up that process quite a bit. Now, if you can, you should try to put these things out daily. Because they're being pushed so hard right now, it's going to be really important to get that momentum when you can, because at a certain point, they're going to stop being pushed. Next is short duration video. So this is the type of video that's used in stories that'll disappear in 24 hours. These exist on almost every platform now, even LinkedIn, where it seems to have completely failed. But the point here is about connection. You want your viewers to feel closer to you or closer to your brand, which means that this is less polished than almost anything else that you're doing for video other than maybe live. You're talking to them about your thoughts, you're giving them behind the scenes of your business, anything that you can do to build loyalty here through the realness of who you really are, who your brand really is, okay? This is gonna drive them to continue to engage with your other content because they're so interested in you as a person or you as a brand. You should do a minimum of 2 to 3 stories per day on the platform of your choice so that you can keep that interest going and you can keep people feeling like they're having access to you as the person or the brand. The last content strategy is to go live. So this is exactly as it sounds. You go live, you turn on your video and you talk to people in real time. There's a real draw in talking directly to people or brands that you admire, and you want people to feel that deep connection with you or your brand. I would suggest that you do this as often as possible. Some people will tell you 3 times a week. I think that's kind of tough. That's half an hour 3 times a week. I would say do that at least once a week if you can. All right, let's talk about some strategies for sales videos. So we want to break this down in the same way we did with content into a few subcategories. I'm going to break it down into 3. There's going to be webinars, landing page videos, and ads. So webinars are very long form pieces of content, let's say about an hour, but it's a little bit different than anything you're going to find on YouTube because yes, you are providing deep value, but you're also talking about specifically what they should expect if they buy from you. For instance, if you're selling a course on email marketing, your webinar should talk about some broad strategies to win on email marketing without giving everything away that they should expect to find in the course. All right, let's go through some webinar best practices. So first, this should be a pre-recorded webinar. That way you don't have to be on at all hours of the day giving this live webinar all the time. You can just pre-record it and then somebody can come on and watch it whenever they want, which means that they don't have to wait either for the webinar to start. They can just run right in and watch it whenever they want to start. You should also save the best comments from all of your previous runs of the webinar and program them to run when they were initially posted. What that means is that if you have an hour-long webinar and a comment was posted at minute 34, second 19, frame 22, then you should put that same comment in at that same moment, because that way it's going to interact with what's happening on the page. And you should put some moderator comments in there as well to respond to it so that we feel like we're getting a good conversation. And even if there's only one person in the room, they still feel like they're having a nice conversation that's going there, and it's increasing that FOMO, it's increasing that groupthink and that mob mentality. Halfway through the webinar, make a one-time offer. You can put that right in the comment section of the webinar most of the time. This could be something like free swag, like a free cup or something, or it could be a discount offer that is only made the one time that they're on the webinar and never again. It expires at the end of that webinar. At the end of that webinar, once everything is over and they've watched it or they haven't, make sure that you send the recording of the webinar and then you start putting them in your welcome series so that you start pitching them from that point forward. Next is landing page video. So a landing page video is a pitch that you're making on the landing page where they are visiting and making a consideration whether they're going to buy or not. If they're there, you should assume that they're already at least mildly interested in buying. That's why they're there in the first place, and you want to do what you can to push them further down that funnel. Don't make this video any longer than 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be super flashy, though you should consider your brand aesthetic and your brand image in that 5 minutes in that video. But generally speaking, it doesn't have to be super flash or anything like that. They're there to listen and learn what you have to offer. So you want to make sure that you are presenting that as effectively as possible. It's a pitch to a warm prospect. It's not a pitch to somebody who's totally cold. So you should introduce yourself a bit. You should introduce your product a bit. You should more be talking about why it is beneficial to them rather than introducing yourself, okay? Make sure that this is just a technical matter, but as they're moving down the page, you don't turn off that video automatically. If they want to pause it, of course they can, but as they're scrolling down the page, if they don't turn it off, you don't turn it off, because you want them to be able to hear what you have to say while they're looking at other things, because they're 100% going to scroll down the page while that video is playing. All right, let's talk about your ad video strategy. And ad videos come in two forms which affect the way that the video is shot. There's cold traffic and there's retargeting. Cold traffic is video for people that haven't heard of you at all before. It's very important in this situation that you grab their attention super fast. So flashy visuals, colorful graphics, that sort of stuff is going to work really well here to get people to initially want to watch that video. You need to make this video a minute or less, and you need to do all three of the following things in that video to be very effective. Introduce your product or service, highlight the pain or pleasure that you're addressing, and show why you are better than the competition. The goal is, of course, to get them to visit and to buy from you. The other ad type is retargeting. So this is video for people who are at least a little bit familiar with you. They've probably visited your site before. They saw some other ad or something like that. It's less about introducing you in this way and more about convincing them to buy because they're already familiar with you. This video needs to be a little less soft, a little less introduction, a little more hard, a little more direct sales. So you can use other aspects that are really interesting and amazing to other people. You can use testimonials. That's a very effective method as well. Still keep it short. Just assume that they know you a little bit so you can avoid that introduction stuff. All right, let's bring this all together into kind of a funnel. So obviously video is not going to do everything on its own. You need copy and checkout pages and domains and all sorts of stuff to build a very clear funnel. But this is a framework, right? So you've got content and sales videos, but as subcategories, you have a lot more than that. Everything that's content should be considered top of funnel. So your long form videos and your short form videos and your short duration, your lives, all of that stuff is at the very top. That's what's generating leads, as well as your ads. So a lot of your ads, remember, are going to be cold to a cold audience that have never heard of you before. So that's going to be your top of funnel as well. Everything else, that's going to be your webinars, that's going to be your landing page videos, that sort of stuff should be considered middle or bottom of the funnel, depending on how you build your funnel out. But the idea is that these content and advertisement videos are driving people onto your webpage, and then from there to a sale. so I know video can feel very intimidating. I just mentioned 7 types of video, so I get it. It can be very difficult to feel like you can do this. But honestly, you're not gonna get used to it until you try doing it. So try video, give it a shot, let me know how it works out for you. Or if you're using video already, please let me know how it has worked out for you. I think you're gonna tell me some pretty positive things. Generally speaking, I hear some really good things from video. Otherwise, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, and I'll catch you in the next one.